Hey everyone, welcome. This is the after show for Showtime's The Chi. We're discussing episode 1 tonight, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
There it is.
Turn it.
Our fiance.
I got my hoodies up.
Houston like
Alrighty, yes.
See, they're jamming.
It's a
How can this not get you right?
It's a party.
The Chi is all in.
They love it. Welcome everyone. Welcome ladies.
What's
Hey,
up?
We got a lady panel in the house.
Yes.
Girl power.
Listen,
Hey,
time's up.
Oh,
Time
she's
is
ready.
up.
Get it, girl. Get it. You tell them. Hey, everyone. I'm Veronica Barriga. You can find me on social media at VeronicaBOnline.com and, at Veronica, the letter B, online.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Franceli Chapman, representing for all the Afro-Latinas out there.
Hey.
Make sure you follow me at all things that Celly Hangout. You know, all black everything.
All right. What's up, guys? My name is Drew Jones, and you can follow me on all the things at OKDrewJ.
What's up, world? I'm your super host, Dominique Cerita, and you can find me on all things Dominique Cerita.
Okay.
And I'm so happy we're back, y'all. It's 2018.
Listen, new year.
Love it.
Great television to start off the new year. I'm so happy this is my first panel back. Like,
Yes.
what?
Welcome back.
Way to come back.
Love it. So this is a brand new show. Tonight we watched the premiere, like many of you guys. Lots to talk about, lots to discuss. Overall reactions, guys. First impressions, thoughts, what you liked, what you didn't like.
Oh my gosh. So my first expression, I thought it was a girl coming down on a bicycle. I didn't know it was a guy.
I thought I was the only one. Thank you for saying that. I felt bad.
Like, and he spoke, and I was like, oh, it's a boy.
But that speaks to the great writing too, because that's the joke later on in the episode where they're like, oh, you know, the guy standing over the body looking like a girl with the hair like a girl, you know, so.
And he had a little backpack and it had flowers on it, so I didn't know what to think, you know?
I'm here for it.
Yellow jacket.
Yes, for
He's so
breaking
cute.
gender roles. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Yes,
That's very
What's
true.
your hair routine? I need to know.
Yes.
All the way.
They're rocking that same hair.
I was like, ooh.
So this is really cool. You know, everything's connected, and it's sort of like we're gonna start to get into these character lives, and it's like what I do affects you, affects her. You know, domino effect
Domino
in this
effect.
series, which I really love. What did you guys think about how they presented the neighborhood? Was it like authentic? Was it genuine? Or
Well, for me, overall, I think the most important thing about the narrative of this story is that it's being told by us.
Yep.
yeah,
You know, because a lot of times when it's a story about us, it's not being told by us.
Yep.
Right.
And I think Lena Waithe, shout outs to Lena.
Yes.
My goodness.
You did that, girl. You did that.
You know, and
Yes.
tonight at the Golden Globes, Oprah made an incredible quote about
Yeah.
the importance of speaking your truth, and
Yes.
it's the most
Right.
powerful tool we have.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Lena speaking her truth led her to being the first African American
Yeah.
woman to win an Emmy.
Yeah.
So therefore, here she is still speaking her
Yeah.
truth of what it means to be a black woman from Chicago.
Yeah.
So I feel there's no better person to be telling the story than her. So I'm not from the Chi, but I'm from the BX, and there's just something important about authenticity of where we're from in the neighborhood, and I believe she's doing just that.
Yeah.
Hey, my Chicago people, talk to us in the chat, let us know what it really is. But it was beautiful.
you approve.
Beautiful storytelling,
Yeah.
great
She
writing.
approves, yeah.
I think it was very great how the narrative was very powerful, and
Yeah.
I love that someone from the Chi was able to speak upon it because it kind of like humanized everything, but also gives you an understanding. You know, people are not just killing people to kill people.
Right.
They're killing people because of someone was hurt, that was their brother, that was
Oh,
their
yeah.
sister, and it goes like to a deeper
Yeah.
understanding. So now you understand why such things take place, and I love that. Like, it just makes us, we're not crazy, we're not angry, you know,
Yeah.
we're very sane, and we're humans, and we all have a heart. So
Just
I love that.
humans trying to survive in a tough neighborhood
Yeah.
with circumstances that maybe others don't have to deal with.
Right.
So
Exactly. I feel like the streets are often demonized, and
Yeah.
like you don't understand that like there's a living, beating heart that's in the
Yes.
streets, and like especially Chicago. You know, we have this president who constantly attacks Chicago all the time. So to see like
Yeah.
that there's to have this story told where it's not glorifying like street life, but it's giving this real authentic
Yeah.
like where people like we take care of our own, like everything has its own sort of like government. I think is really important to see right now, and so I am so hyped for the show.
Yeah, and shout out to Common. He's a co-executive producer.
Yes.
He's from Chicago
He's
as
from
well.
Chicago,
So he was
too.
gonna get it
You
right.
got,
Yeah.
you got the
he's
double
not
of Chicago,
Yeah.
EPs in the house, so they did well. All right, so we start with Cooky, our Afro kid, and
Yes.
we
That curl pattern on. Please, hello.
on his little bike, looking all cute and charismatic.
Funkadelic too.
Yeah, he's got style. He's got style. What did you guys think about how he sort of like approached the body, and his instinct was to take the shoes,
Oh my
take the
gosh.
necklace, opposed to maybe being freaked out by a dead body? You know, it's like.
I think I'm trying to put my mind in his. Like, he's from Chicago, so I'm quite sure he's seen this often. So he wasn't shocked initially.
Right.
But he did check over to make sure the person wasn't dead. So I was like, okay, maybe he's trying to see if he was still alive, breathing. But he took the chain and took the shoes. And I'm like, the streets is always watching. Somebody's going to see this.
Right.
Why would you do that? Like, oh my gosh, I just couldn't get that part. But yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it was kind of a very real take on
Yes.
the situation because
So real.
death is so often, and
Yeah.
so it kind of is almost like he was like desensitized
Yep.
to it.
Yes.
Which I completely feel because like I was just talking to someone the other day about we keep seeing all these police brutality videos,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's hard to like not be desensitized to it because we see it so much, and
Mm-hmm.
I felt for him in that. But I did think it was really interesting that you see him pat the pockets and there's nothing there because later we see brought up that there's a cell phone missing.
Yeah.
And obviously he didn't take that, so
Right.
Good
probably got robbed.
observation.
Yeah.
Someone got to the body
Yeah.
first.
exactly.
I mean, I will say
The person
that
killed him.
Yeah.
coming from a particular neighborhood, even going home for Christmas, you know, I've been in LA for a while now, and there were things that were really normalized for me. And now that I've been out of it for so long, I go home and I'm like walking up the staircase, people smoking in my building, this chick's cursing out her boyfriend, and I'm like, what the is this? And I'm
happening?
like,
Yeah.
but I'm feeling it now. But when I was in it, it was normal.
It was normal.
Yeah.
It was just an everyday thing. So, you know, I'm not seeing dead bodies all the time, but I'm sure, like what Dominique
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
it's a normal thing.
Yeah, it's like a survival instinct, you know? You're like, how can I not benefit from this? But you're like, oh shit, I could sell those shoes and get $40, or I can sell those shoes and wear them
Right.
because
Yeah.
my mom's not gonna buy me those shoes, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
So it's yeah, it was interesting. All
Those
right.
are Nikes, girl. I hope you get more than $40.
Yes.
Yeah,
I pray he's getting more than that.
yeah, there you go. That's funny. Speaking of shoes, we get introduced to sneakerhead Emmett,
Oh my
who
God.
has I don't know,
Sneakerhead.
49 baby mamas and more
Oh
coming.
my
Something's happening over here, but
So baby mama drama, Lord.
This scene was so funny. The opening scene, he got his butt cheeks on the window as he's getting fellatio from a young lady.
All right, girl, with the
Yeah,
technical
with the
term.
technical
She
term.
wants to
Yeah.
keep it PC up in here.
And he's trying to watch out for his mama because he don't want the mama to come in. But
Right.
that is so real. Have you ever been like in middle school and you're like
Ooh.
sneaking guys over? I'm sorry, that's maybe high school. You're in high school and you're sneaking guys over in the house and you're trying to do something before your parents come. I found that so funny. But to find out he has so many kids, that's real. Like
Yeah.
by the time you,
Yeah, it is.
I have cousins that before they even 17, they already got 2 kids.
Me too.
So you know, I was like, this is very much real, and I loved it. I was like, come through with the realness, you know.
Putting her under the bed.
Oh
What
my
kind
God.
of disrespect? You would not get me under a bed. I'm gonna be chilling on your bed. What's up, mom? Hi.
Yes.
Your son's a fool.
Wow. She says she's a bold one. How about that?
She was really bold.
that is the part that shocked me the most. I'm like, he's making her go under the bed. This guy's got a lot of nerve. You
I
know?
mean, where would you hide?
Yeah, in the
Is-
closet.
First of all, I'm not fitting under your bed, so we're gonna need to figure something out. Like, that's not happening.
Oh,
I'd
my
be like,
goodness.
you're in trouble. I'm not. She's not my mom.
And she was butt naked, and I was like, is she gonna come out butt naked to meet the mom? But I was like, oh, I'm glad she kind of stayed under there for a little bit. That was funny.
What do we think of his mom? Is she too nice? I felt
No,
like she
she's-
was too nice. No?
She's
good.
that
No.
was.
I think she had a balance.
This is what black moms do. They may not put their hands on you, but they will. They have this special way of talking
Well,
that
some
make you
black
feel.
moms
I
do
know.
put
Wait,
their
no,
hands
no,
on
no,
you. Hold up.
True. But they also have a talent like no other where they can just say a few words and you just are like, damn. Like,
Yeah.
she literally just sat on that bed and said, what's your name, girl?
Yeah.
Like, I was
What's
like,
your name, girl?
I was like, and then when she was like, do you like bacon? She said, yes. She said, well, I bought sausage. That's what's on
That was on
sale.
sale.
I was like,
First, when I seen the mom, I automatically thought of Antoine Fisher. Remember that was his older sister, or his older auntie who was molesting him.
Yeah.
But she did a good job. I was like, oh my gosh, I can see my mom in her, but I definitely see like an older auntie in her. So I was like, oh my gosh, well she had that balance of being stern, where you're not going to play with me, I'm still your mother, but I'm not going to beat you with the broom. I'm gonna beat you with my mouth. What you were saying.
I mean, definitely shout outs to Yolanda. She
Yolanda Rose.
Yeah, she's been in the New York scene for a while, and she was on the Get Down on Netflix, which I was on the panel for that. So I just love seeing her on the screen. She's so talented. She started in the theater, so shout outs to Yolanda.
All these actors, they really nailed it. Shout out to casting. You guys got it right. From the little kids to the mom.
Oh, the kids.
Everybody.
Oh my God.
Can we talk about the kids?
Let's talk about the kids.
What's his name, Papa?
Papa's hilarious. This is the thing.
Husky.
There are shows that are able to truly bring out children talent in a way, or young people. Young people, because you know, in order to be talented on that level, you're a young person. You're intelligent, you're gifted, you're reading, you're memorizing, and it's not just, oh, here's a kid, he's cute, let's put him on TV. It's like, no, this is a young person who's put in the work, and you know, I feel like Stranger Things is like that, and now to see, you know, a group of colored kids being just as talented as what I see in other shows, it's beautiful. I'm like, yes, thank you. We come in all colors, and I saw that in an interview with Common and Lena. They were talking about how colored people are colorful people. Like there's all shades of us. You know, it's not just black and white with us. There's all levels to who we are as a people.
That's true. That's why it's so important to have diversity behind the scenes, because when you have, like you mentioned earlier, when you have other people telling your story, it's not as authentic. It's not going to be the real deal. It's going to be some sort of thing that they think of what it's like, but nothing can replace having the person that's been through it, that knows it, you know, and they're really doing a great job in this show. Okay, let's talk about Ronnie. Old guy Ronnie in the neighborhood.
That's typically the OG that's hanging on the side of the corner, man. Talking about something, I gotta fight the power to stay healthy. I'm like,
when he said that, I was like, yeah.
If I had $1 for every time I got hollered at by a Ronnie, I would never have to work again.
You be on Oprah level, girl.
Right. You wouldn't be paying those Trump taxes.
No Trump taxes.
I just always go back to the writing. The writing in this episode. It's just brilliant, you know, like just the gems and the...
I wanted to touch base, as you said, the casting was very good. I love the chemistry. Everybody that worked together had great chemistry. And I'm like, I wonder if like behind the scenes they like met up. Of course you got to do reading, but like actually spend time with one another, because Jerrika and Brandon had a good feeling. The kids were all great. Like everyone just meshed very well. And it was transparent on screen. So I love that.
Well, I know the guy that played Ronnie, I was watching his interview, he actually walked around the neighborhood.
He did.
He kind of just immersed himself in the neighborhood, you know, as a preparation for the role. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the other people did that and try to, you know, rehearse that way.
Figure out what the show's about.
When I saw Ronnie, I literally was like, that's my dad. Like, that's embarrassing. Like, that's how he interacts with his friends. And I was just like, they just are, it's so refreshing when you hear dialogue that's like actually something you can picture people around you saying.
Yes.
Ronnie is the type of guy that was born in Chi-Town, raised in Chi-Town, will probably die in Chi-Town.
Seriously.
So did we think, I mean, is Ronnie a bad guy? We know what he did, and it was a circumstance, you know, he confronted, you know, little Cooky, but is he a bad guy?
Go ahead.
She raised her hand.
I was just R.I.P. in the Cooky. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think it comes to like he's just doing in his mind what he thinks what's best. Like he's, you know, thinking like the police aren't gonna do what they need to do. This is me handling it. This is me getting justice for, you know, Tracy and for Jason, who was the boy that was shot. Like, I think in his mind he was doing the right thing, but obviously, you know,
his emotions got in the way when he seen that chain and he like jumped forth. Like, I think he was able to control himself a little bit better if he didn't see that.
It's so multi-layered, the burden of the black man, because here is a black man who has tried to be in the life of his black son, who's biologically not his son. You know, the multi-layered of his relationship with this woman, the multi-layers of the relationship with the neighborhood, the multi-layers of, yes, the police and community aspect of not trusting that justice will be served. Right. The multi-layer of the push of what it means to be the leader of the home when the wife is, or the ex-wife or whatever relationship they have is like, you have to do it.
Yeah. Right.
You have to seek justice. Justice has to be in your hands. So it's like there's so much going on in the body of this man in this world, and then just being a black man in America. On top of all of that, like all of that is in this man as he walks in the world, and so it's not easy to put it in a box like right or wrong, black or white. You just can't. Again, great writing.
I asked the question because to me, I don't think he shot him on purpose.
No, it was definitely an accident.
Yeah, because
it was definitely an accident.
He seemed like he was trying to get a little bit of a solution, but he lost it, and that's reality. Sometimes you snap, and things
because
doesn't
you
go
could
that
see
way.
the remorse on his face.
Right, and if oh sorry,
no, go ahead.
And if he was a bad guy, he saw little Kevin and he didn't go after him. So I'm like, all right, this guy's a cool dude. It got out of hand.
Yeah, it just hurt my heart because no one won in that situation.
And I was starting to like him in this.
I know.
Episode 2.
Right. Here I'm thinking, big hair, don't care. It's about to be just a whole part of this whole show.
Right.
But you know what else I found interesting? The writing too, because there's really no good or bad person, and I like the way they showed the cops. Like you have the good cop in the black community. Let's be honest, like he said, we don't trust the cops, and it's our fear of the cops. But it's like you see, what is his name? Detective Cruz, I should say.
Right,
He was a really nice guy. Like he was working with the guy. He didn't want to do like when you do interrogations, they get rude, they push on you. Like he wasn't trying to do that.
Yeah.
And he wanted the best. And then you got the other detective who was like, you should have did this, you should have did that. So that plays a part in narrative as well, because you get the black community to see that all cops aren't bad and all cops aren't good. So it's a balance all around. So I like the balance, and that's the point of being a great storyteller,
Yeah. Well said. All right, so let's talk about Brandon. He's my favorite. What a good guy. What a sweetheart. Him and his perfect girlfriend, and they're just so cute together. And his crazy mom, but hey, that's life.
Okay.
What do you guys think of Brandon? Is he gonna stay on the right path? Towards the end of the episode, he really got tested there. So.
There were a couple setups in this episode that I was like, Lord, let this man be strong. First of all,
with that girl,
the chef's girlfriend needs
the chef's wife.
Wife.
Let's be clear.
Wife. She needs the back 50 shades
all the way back.
Tell her, girl.
Second of all, there's a comment his brother said about him opening the restaurant. He's like, oh, you're gonna need stocks for that. And then later on in the episode, Kevin asked him, he says, you're not a drug dealer, are you? And I feel like...
he had a pass.
Yeah. Or I feel like Lena's setting it up that, he's going to be going through this death of Cooky. I feel like we might see him really have to make some hard choices with, like, trying to open his restaurant and all that. There are a lot of things, though, that I was just like, y'all gonna let this man be pure. Right. We're gonna have one
good guy.
One good guy.
I mean, again, so multi-layered. Here's this young black man from the south side of Chicago who got out the south side. Is being judged by his own community, his own mother, about getting out and being with a bougie bitch. It's just like all the layers of that. And then even at the restaurant, he's at the bottom totem pole. He's trying to work his way up, and he can't work his way up on his own merit. He's working his way up because, hey, the light-skinned chef's wife is giving him googly eyes because he's the nice black dude working at the but what I love about Lena's writing is, again, how poignant that even the generational slavery mentality is relevant in 2017, 2018. Because 2017 is when she wrote it. But it's just like that right there, the whole the chain of power in terms of work, that's been happening since the slavery time.
Yeah.
Brandon's the type of kid that had to get out, right? He's either going to be a product of the neighborhood or you're going to leave. And he probably started working at that restaurant since he was 16 years old, washing dishes.
Like his mother said.
Like his mother said, looking down on him instead of being proud of, that her son's got work ethic. It's real tough. But I don't want to see him sucked back to, it's like you work so hard to get out of there, and then these circumstances bring you back, and that's just a shame. So
I wanted to say something about the mom. I feel like she's the type of mother who doesn't take responsibility for her parental actions, because number one, why is your kid out there in the street by herself? Whatever. Why is your kid so out late? And then when the brother said, Mom, let me step in and take care of him, she was really dogging the brother out. Like, oh, you think you better? How come you ain't got a car? Like, and then when the son died, she blamed it on the brother. You was supposed to take care of him. She's that mother that doesn't take responsibility of being a mother, so she blames everybody else. And I think Brandon probably had to fend for himself growing up, and he was probably still young for the point where he couldn't bring his brother on. So he had to step out, take care of himself first, then when I get good, I'll come back and get my brother. But it just didn't happen that way because of this.
Yeah.
But the mother role plays a good part, because I feel like it doesn't matter if you're in Chicago, if you're in D.C., whatever city you're in, it's always that situation to create that dynamic of that, mentality.
Yeah,
So.
and that funeral scene.
Oh my gosh.
Break my
Jason,
heart.
you did that speech, boy. I'm about to cry.
That monologue.
That messed me up.
Listen.
Real quick about the mother, though, I think the whole, like, you're too bougie, you're too good for us thing is kind of a huge testament within the Black community, because there's oftentimes, you do get out of the struggle, you do get, or you try to at least, and you come back, and it's often this, oh, like, look at you, you're too good for it. Instead of, like, this empowering, like,
you got out, we
you
can
got
get out, too.
like, we can get out, let's work together, let's build off of each other.
Yeah.
And I think it was really interesting that she brought that up, because I personally feel like that is such a big problem within the Black. I know when I go home and go to a certain, see certain people, whether it's like, oh, you grown now, you on TV now, you think you're cute, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no,
But you are cute.
like,
You're very
thank
cute.
you. But like, nah, I came from the same streets as you did. If I can do it, you can do it. Like,
Right.
let's figure out how
That's
to get
what
it
it
done.
is.
And so,
Exactly.
I was triggered by that.
Yeah.
I'm not
But you
gonna lie.
also see love too, because you see like how the brother's like, I love you, man.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
it was good that you see that brotherly love, and they just do a good job of showing every
Yeah.
single thing, and it's real. You're gonna have parents that messed up. You're gonna have brothers that love each other. Even the sister and little boy Kevin, she was like, you need to clean them shoes off. You know what I'm
So
saying? Like,
cute.
she looked out for her brother. Man, that's just the way life is. Like, you got your moments. Like,
Let's talk about little Kevin. So he's the guy on the poster, the little boy. He was in Moonlight, and he played Little on Moonlight. But
He's amazing.
what a sweetheart. But he cracks me
Yeah,
up. So what? He's like 10 years old, and he's over here trying to mac on girls. What's that about?
Middle school,
he got to.
I love that they chose The Wiz.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was in The Wiz. The Wiz is the token Black musical. Come on now.
I was a poppy seed.
But let's be real. Have you guys ever done something where you just wanted to get somebody attention? Like, he signed up for a place just to talk to the girl.
Okay, how many girls pretend to love MMA or basketball or football just to
Kick it.
We've all done it. Guy or girl has pretended to be interested in something to get someone's attention.
I learned how to play Call of Duty for a man.
Oh!
Yes.
Did it work, girl?
Yes.
That's commitment, girl.
I just kept pushing buttons, and then I finally watched some Reddit or read some Reddit, and I learned, and
How y'all feel about like
or
your
whatever.
kids cursing? Because I felt like that was real.
that was.
I mean, kids curse.
Yeah, but they're like beyond their years, though. These kids, right?
This
I
is
think
the
that's
thing.
a
When
you grow
product
up in
of
the
growing
city,
up.
you grow up
right,
in the
that's what I
inner
was gonna
city.
say,
Grow up
right.
fast.
I was
You do
riding
gotta
the
grow
train
fast, yes.
by myself to school by the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Same.
So and you grow up and you start thinking, oh man, these kids, they're cursing. When I get on the train now, my old self, and then I'm like, but that was me.
Yeah.
I was on the train loud, yelling, cursing,
Yeah, and
being
it's worse
ratchet.
I was like that
Thank
as
God
a teenager.
for being
I was
seasoned
messy.
and growing up.
Those days
I
are
still can go back to a
Those
pop
days are behind me, the ratchet.
We're polished now. Keep it classy. But little Kevin, he's hood. He's really aware. I think he comes from sort of like a middle class. He's not exactly like in the ghetto, or to me, he's got the nicer clothes, and his sister's like all done up. So they're kind of like the middle class kids. But he's just really aware and with it. So I'm curious if you guys think. If he's gonna let this secret out to the cops. I mean, he knows not to snitch, but he's a kid.
I think Kevin knows the cycle. I think he knows very much, if you say something, you're the next person, you're the next target.
Right.
So I think even though he is a little boy, I think he's going to be very calculated with his steps. Yeah, I think he's just going to be very calculated. He's a smart one. I mean, he tried to hustle. He was like, what, you going to give me your $40 and a bike? He was very, he knows what he's doing, you know.
And I mean, this is the storyline, right? The great pilot episode,
Yeah.
you know, introducing all the characters,
Yeah.
laying it out, the foundation of how all these families are intertwined. For me, the being that I'm the product of a father who had many children with different women.
Yeah.
You know, when Brandon said, you know, I loved him with my whole heart. There's nothing half about me.
Yeah.
You know, I cannot stand when
Right.
people tell me, oh, you half sister, you half.
Yeah.
There's half nothing. You know,
Yeah.
these are my siblings. I grew up with them. I love them with my whole heart. Like, that was like, again, just so authentic to what life is, because a lot of us come from, you know, blended families and just trying to figure it all out and have relationships with each other, even though our parents don't get along. Like, life is complicated.
Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of times I really love how, you know, the community watches out for each other. Nobody's going to talk to the cops. We don't
Right.
talk to the cops. They don't come and help the community. You know, this is like, they're not necessarily the enemy, but they're not exactly the ally.
Right.
But people talk to each other in the hood,
Yeah.
in the community. And it's really cool to watch that, you know, and they're also doing it in a way where it's just not like, okay, we're all buddy and everybody's friends. You still got to make sure that you can go to that corner
Yeah.
and speak to the people without, you know, crossing lines. That was pretty cool to watch. I love that.
There's this unhidden, well, I guess hidden or unhidden, I'm not sure, rule in the hood
Yeah.
where you speak. You
Yeah.
know, my mom, God bless her heart, you know, my mom till this day, you know, lives in the hood of the Bronx, you know, on a 5-floor walk up with no elevator. And every time she walks up the stairs, no matter who's chilling on those stairs,
Yeah.
my mother speaks. She said, because my mother said, people are people and you should treat them like humans, because God forbid something happens to you someday. You don't want someone to be like, oh, I don't know her. Or I don't,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that same person could be someone who could save your life because
Yep.
you always spoke. You know,
Yeah.
you just treat people like human beings. And I think that in the hood, there's this code that, you know, you speak to everybody
Yep.
because you just never know.
You have
And,
to
you know,
protect each other.
Yeah.
And it's really,
Yeah,
really
that-
interesting too, because like in real life, I like how in the story everybody kind of like know each other.
Yeah.
You find that out later on, but that's like real life too. If
Yeah.
something was to happen to you, I guarantee you somehow my mother, cousin probably know your sister,
Yeah.
brother.
Right.
So it's
Exactly.
like I love that aspect of it, because in a nutshell, we are really all our one family. So we do got to look out for one another, like your mother taught you. You know, you speak to somebody because nobody's gonna look out for us like we are. You know, we can be
Right.
our enemies, we can fight each other, we can kill each other, but we also know how to protect each other
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
when in time of need.
And speaking of people looking out for other people, I'm really interested to see the relationship with Kevin and Mr. Gaska, the drama teacher.
Oh,
Or
that's
the
yes.
guy who- just 'cause it-
Slide some oil to me.
Yeah. I definitely think we're gonna see like a legit relationship there, and I'm interested to see if it plays into how Kevin handles this whole situation. But yeah, like I like the little setup they have going on there. I'm like, I want to
Yes.
see more of that.
It was great.
He was like, "You got a good voice."
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like, I suck, but you.
And the importance of the arts for young people,
Yeah,
absolutely.
people of color,
Absolutely.
people
Yeah.
from the inner city. I say it all the
Oh.
time. Theater saved my life. Had I not
Absolutely.
found theater, I probably would have never gotten off the block. I was chilling on the corner till
Yeah.
4 or 5 in the morning, just
Yeah.
wasting time. You know, and also the dynamic of young black men finding the arts, because there is that stigma that, oh, quote unquote. I remember like my
being
guy
corny.
friends wanting to be in the theater, and if they were straight, their friends would make fun of them and
Yep.
say, "Oh, you gay."
Yeah.
Like, it's just, what is that about? Why can't black men be artists
Yeah.
and not? Anyway, that's a
Yeah.
whole other
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
really
whole-
nailed it. I mean, I grew up near East LA, you know, I'm Latina, and
Yeah.
it really did, hey girl, hey. But it kept me out of trouble, these community
Yes.
programs. I mean, I love that you mentioned that, and I love that they do it in the show. I don't know where I would be if I was not in that
Right.
summer talent
Speak
show,
on
you know
it.
what I'm saying? It's,
Exactly.
It's real, it's real life. Okay, so predictions before we...
Predictions already? Oh my goodness.
Well,
Let me swing this hair.
swing it, girl.
Gotta
All of
swing
y'all
it.
got hair over here. I need to borrow some.
You can still swing your hair, girl. Swing that thing.
I'll swing on neck. Predictions. I know later on down the road, I know the chef wife is
Oh,
going
it's
to
gonna
sneak
put
up
it on him.
Brandon.
I'm scared.
And Jerrika is going to have
scared.
to lay the foundation.
She better check that.
I love Jerrika, by the way. She's a great actress. But predictions, I don't know. I don't even want to predict because I want to enjoy each
Yes.
episode
Yeah.
by
Moment.
episode because it's such a good show.
Yeah.
Such a good show.
I will say I'm gonna predict we're gonna see some Golden Globe noms.
Yes! Golden
That's
Globes.
what I think.
Hello,
Yes.
your time is up.
Yes.
I'm tired of hearing
Mark
first
my
black
words.
anything at this
Next
point.
year we're gonna bring this point up.
Yes.
We're gonna get some
it.
nominations, some wins because this show is just
It's
solid.
so
You're going to
good.
replay the clip of you saying that.
Yep.
Yeah. This time next year. You know, similar to Dominique, oh man, like I knew this episode had been out for a little bit, a couple days ago. They released it early and I just didn't want to watch it until tonight. I wanted to have like that fresh
yeah.
reaction and be able to enjoy this panel with all you ladies, which I have.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So fun.
Thanks to all of y'all who are watching us. Make sure you stay tuned with us every week. I'm just predicting that the writing is just going to get better.
Yeah.
The storylines are going to get deeper
Yeah.
and we're going to see the multi-layered, multifaceted, beautiful brown and black people of Chicago.
Finally.
Aw.
That's my prediction.
That's a good one.
Mike.
I'm on my The Shy Oprah tonight.
Well said.
Wait, how
Yeah.
funny is that? Like Oprah is from Shy and
Yes.
we're talking about the Shy.
Yes.
It's all connected.
The alignment.
It is, yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how to top that. You really I'm speechless, yeah.
Like Brandon's
no,
speech.
You nailed it. I'm excited to see, them get deeper and more intertwined. And we had a good introduction into these characters' lives. But yeah, I want to get more gritty nitty into it, and see more realness and see more genuine stories. And I'm excited about what's to come. So you guys make sure to catch us every week. Yes. We are here. We are live. Yes. 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. if you're on the East Coast, which is really cool, right after the show. And yeah, there's also a live chat you can join. So come back next week, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.